Welcome to the show. You're watching the Fox Business Network. Attorney General Merrick Garland testifying today at an explosive House hearing amid multiple DOJ controversies. Joining us now, he was at the hearing. He's Louisiana Congressman Mike Johnson of House Judiciary. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. You were there. Tell us what happened and what is going on with the White House knowing ahead of time before AG Garland sent out that memo threatening parents with federal firepower meant for terrorists to investigate them for threatening school boards. What is going on with this story? What do you think?
Well, there's a lot here, and as you said, Liz, it was really an important hearing. It was explosive. The Attorney General sat before us for a number of hours, and this is the first time that we've had an opportunity to question him since he took the helm of the DOJ 7 months ago. The Judiciary Committee has jurisdiction and oversight responsibility. We took it seriously today. One of the big headlines, I think, that came out of it is what you pointed out. You know, a lot of questions are being raised about this directive that the Attorney General, Mr. Garland, sent out to the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's offices wanting to involve them in local school board matters. There are a number of questions raised about that. One that came out today in the hearing was that it seems to have been a political decision. It followed just 3 or 4 days after the National School Board Association sent basically a demand letter to the White House. It appears by Mr. Garland's testimony today, the Attorney General relied upon kind of that politicized letter where they characterized, as you said, parents, concerned parents, with domestic terrorists. He used that as the basis for this really unprecedented level of activity to insert the federal government, the DOJ, in these local matters. Well, but the bigger issue, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, finish your thought.
Well, I was just going to say the bigger issue to me, and where I focused my questions, was on the apparent conflict of interest he had. You know, his son, as has been reported now, and you noted a moment ago, is profiting off the very curricula, critical race theory, sexual identity curricula, that the parents are so upset about and are going to these school boards to protest. It seems to us the Attorney General has a serious conflict here, and he should not be involving himself. That's something his family has a financial interest in.
Yeah, the son-in-law, his business at that consultancy Panorama, it looked like it quadrupled since the president took office. And also, he's got, I think, like $27 million in school board contracts from 1,500 school districts. Congressman, let's take a look at the fireworks today. Watch this.
I seek recognition for a parliamentary inquiry.
It's not a rule. It's not a rule. It's what you said. I think the term you used is it's protocol.
The gentlewoman objected.
The conduct of the committee. Rules do. That's not a rule. We had a video. We understood you had a video.
Subpart E of that federal regulation says an employee of the executive branch is discouraged from engaging in conduct that's likely to affect the financial interest of someone close to them. Your son-in-law, your daughter, clearly meets that definition. And so the question is, did you follow that regulation? Did you have the appropriate agency ethic official look into this? Did you seek guidance as the federal regulation requires?
This memorandum is aimed at violence and threats of violence.
Understand that, but did you seek, excuse me, did you seek ethics counsel before you issued a letter that directly relates to the financial interest of your family? Yes or no?
This memorandum does not relate to the financial interests of anyone. It's against.
I take that as a no. I take that as a no.
When did you first review the data showing this so-called disturbing uptick?
So I read the letter, and we have been seeing over time threats.
Whoa. I didn't ask you. So you read the letter. That's your source?
So let me be clear. This is not a prosecution or an investigation.
Is there some study, some effort, some investigation someone did that said there's been a disturbing uptick, or you just take the words of the National School Board Association?
That's a pretty low threshold, right? I mean, just one letter to use. Let me go through it. The FBI, the Secret Service, the National Security Division, the Threat Assessment Center, to go after parents? I mean, that's a really low threshold. This feels like, you know, bowing to Democrat special interests. What do you say?
Well, that's exactly what it is, and the Attorney General could provide no answer that would dissuade us from drawing that conclusion. That's exactly what happened, and they are bringing the full weight of the Department of Justice on concerned parents for merely going to a school board meeting and exercising their First Amendment freedoms. They have a constitutional right, an ethical interest in protecting their children and what they're being exposed to.
Yeah, Congressman, let me jump in here. Let's show more from that video that Democrat Jerry Nadler refused to show today about what parents are upset about. You're going to see the sound bites in typed out form here, and it's pretty bad stuff what the parents are really upset about. Congressman, first of all, how far will the government ethics probe of AG Garland go? And secondly, why didn't the White House and the AG and the Department of Education, why didn't they just sit down with parents and listen to what they're talking about? They don't want their children racialized as young as 5 years old. Kids are supposed to be climbing trees at that time, playing with their, Barbie dolls, as one parent said. They don't want to be talking about their sexual identity for 10-year-olds. They don't want to see porn in their school libraries for their kids. How about stopping that first before you go after parents?
Absolutely. Now's the time for concerned parents to really speak up. We should not be deterred by this at all. The Department of Justice is advancing a political agenda. There's no other way to see this. And the Attorney General did nothing today for anybody to draw any other conclusion. This is an unprecedented overreach of the feds, and it's a real problem. We're going to press for that ethics investigation. The Democrats have the majority in our committee right now, Liz, and in some ways our hands are tied. But I'll tell you what, those fortunes are going to change in the next election cycle, next fall. Everyone knows that we're going to take the majority, and there will be a reckoning.
And by the way, the majority, 95% of the statements you just saw from parents came from African-American and black parents and Hispanics. So they're upset. How far will the government ethics violation into AG Garland go over his son-in-law making $27 million from school boards between 2017 and 2020? That's 1,500 school districts the Panorama now works with. That's his company. It quadrupled under Biden. So what are you guys going to do with the ethics violation?
Well, that's the thing. It is a direct violation of the Code of Federal Regulations. That's our conclusion, and we're going to press for that. He refused over and over today to submit to a simple ethics review. That certainly looks like he's trying to hide something. So it will be our responsibility to push for that oversight. We do not have the votes on the committee to do it right now, but as I said, we will very soon.
All right,
when we do, there are going to be a lot of questions to answer.
Congressman, we're going to stay on the story. Congressman Mike Johnson, really appreciate you coming on. Come back soon, okay?